The Bush regime is setting out to radically remake society very quickly in a fascist way and for generations to come. People who steal elections and believe they are on a mission from God will not go without a fight. There is no escaping it. The whole disastrous course of this Bush regime must be stopped.
Well, as a great man once said, now I don't know where to start. Maybe some of you can help me out here at 1-877-99-LARRY. First of all, Michael Moore in Sitco tells us, the documentary Sitco, tells us that people in Gitmo are getting wonderful care. They're not being tortured. They're getting better care than we are. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about. Your government is evolving each day, moving to a theocracy, where a narrow and hateful brand of Christian fundamentalism will rule. What? Have you read the Constitution? We have a secular government? We just added a guy named Keith Ellison to the House as a Muslim? Doesn't it sound a little bit like Rosie O'Donnell? We have to watch out for Christian extremism as much as we do for Islamic extremism. By the way, were any Christians involved in the attempted bombing in London over the weekend? Just to your knowledge? It enforces a culture of greed, bigotry, intolerance, and ignorance. Wow. That doesn't sound like a nice place. Your government enforces a culture of greed. I suppose that's because of tax cuts. Bigotry. $15 billion of aid to Africa. Highest appointees of blacks and Latinos in any administration in history. Intolerance. Over the objections of many, including myself, we just had high-level meetings with Iran and Syria, which resulted, of course, in Syria sending over soldiers and technology for even more explosive IEDs. That worked out great. People look at us and think of Hitler, and they're right to do so. I mean, even if you're on the left, even if you don't like George W. Bush, even if you don't support the war, even if you don't support tax cuts, even if you don't like his Supreme Court nominees and appointees, people think of us as Hitler, and they're right to do so. The guy that started a war that resulted in 50 million people, the Holocaust, and 5 million other people who died under similar circumstances. I mean, and of course, Laura Bush is married to him. I mean, isn't this a little extreme even for you? 1-877-99-LARRY, Larry Elder Show. Former White House aide Scooter Libby will not serve his 30-month prison term. Thanks to the president, Libby will still have to pay a $250,000 fine and serve 2 years on probation. The leading U.S. airlines are urging the FAA to delay flights by corporate and private jets at New York airports over the next weekend to try and get rid of congestion. Of course, congestion in New York becomes congestion everywhere. The pro wrestler who strangled his wife and son and committed suicide last month bought injectable steroids excessively. His doctor has been charged with improperly prescribing him a 10-month supply of steroids every 3 to 4 weeks for the last year. Researchers believe that people who have trouble identifying common smells, lemon, banana, cinnamon, may be showing the first indication they're developing Alzheimer's. The study indicates a scratch and sniff test might be one way to determine if someone is going to get the brain disorder. Dan Avey, McCabe, ABC News Center. For the latest traffic update, let's go to Southern California Lexus dealer traffic.
Thank you very much, Larry. Good afternoon, folks. In Topanga Canyon, about 2 miles up in from Pacific Coast Highway, approaching the village, there was a terrible injury collision. Finally got all lanes clear, but expect still some slow traffic recovering as you make your way from PCH inbound, or I should say heading inland along Topanga southbound. That's wide open. Your Southern California Lexus dealer traffic update from KBC's Jetcopter 790. I'm Captain Hook.
Your adjustable home loan is going up and your payment's about to explode. In fact, your loan balance too. But you've got good credit and you've got good equity, so you've got options. Larry Oda here for my friends at Park Place Funding. If you're paying more than 4.5%, that's too much. And if you pay more than $1,800 a month on a $400,000 loan, that's too much. You may not be aware of the huge amount of money made off your home loan. Wouldn't you like to get that money back? Park Place Funding shows you how to get money back and use it to lower your loan payment and interest. Call 866-959-FUND. They will come to your home and explain exactly how they do this. 866-959-FUND. This is not an adjustable, and unlike their competitors, Park Place doesn't add $20,000 to your loan balance to do it. Only Park Place Funding shows you why you should never pay more than 4.5% and why you should never pay for a home loan again. 866-959-FUND.
Okay, people, can I see a show of hands on who's coming to the 4th of July Company barbecue? What, Lloyd? Frank? No, sorry. I'm going to my Honda dealer. Judy?
Well, George, actually that's where I'm going to.
Mark? Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Sorry, George.
Come on, what about my famous ribs a la George? Well, Honda's having a 4th of July weekend bash.
Yeah, and they're offering great lease deals.
Not to mention some sweet APRs. Really?
Yeah, on Accord, Pilots, even the Odyssey. Hey, George, haven't you been eyeing that Civic Hybrid? Come on.
Well, maybe.
And don't forget, Honda was just named the greenest automaker in America for the 4th time. So why not come with us? Good idea. Yeah.
Perfect, George. Oh, you know, I bet if I brought some of my famous ribs a la George, we might get an even better deal. Oh, yeah, you know, George, I think Honda has a company policy about not taking gifts from their customers.
Yeah, you know what? I did read that somewhere, George. That's true.
That happened to me. I tried to take some sweet corn. Claim based on a recent U.S. emissions study by the Union of Concerned Scientists.
Remember the 70s? Disco, bad hair, and long lines at the gas station. Well, some Congress want to bring them back with 1970s-style energy taxes and price controls, proven to produce gas shortages and long lines at the pump. We need reliable energy supplies, not failed policies from a bygone era. Tell Congress to leave energy taxes and gasoline price controls where they belong, back in the 70s.
Paid for by the people of America's oil and natural gas industry. The whole world's listening. 790 KABC.
The hour, 1-877-995-2779. And we're talking about Olympia Dukakis and a piece that she did the voiceover for on a website called worldcan'twait.org. And the world can't wait, meaning the world can't wait until Bush gets out of office. Waiting until the third week of January in 2009 is way too late because he can do way too much damage. She did win an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in a movie called Moonstruck, which was a very good movie. I know she doesn't speak for the Hollywood community, but most people in the Hollywood community, of course, are liberal, except for those that are deep in the closet and fear loss of jobs or loss of opportunities if anybody were to understand that they don't quite think this way. But if you want to call, I mean, I'm not trying to ruin anybody's career or anything, but if you want to call and you're in the Hollywood community, 1-877-959-MARRIED, it doesn't even embarrass you. Now, I read the whole thing, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is she expects to do to Bush to get him out of office. And they don't even mention impeachment on here. By the way, the Democrats took over the Senate and the House. You don't hear any impeachment talk anymore. There were some implications of that, and now you don't hear it anymore. In fact, Harry Reid has said, the Senate Majority Leader, that we oversold our ability to stop the war. No, you didn't. You did exactly what you wanted to do. It's called switch and bait. You ran, gave people the impression that if Democrats came in, all of our troops would come home, knowing damn well you didn't have the votes to do it, but you got in office, that's what you wanted. Anyway, this thing goes forward and accuses Bush of, quote, stealing election. I presume they're talking about 2000, 2004. Notice how nobody says 2006 was stolen. You know, when the Democrats took the House and the Senate. Those were just righteous elections. But the 2000 and 2004, those were stolen.